In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host Superman is in the house, and we're going to have a fun show today. We're going to be talking about a lot of the markets, and of course, we're going to get into talk about the big on-ramp that is expected to launch. We're going to check out all the details there around Sun Mini Meal, and of course, Banxa. This is mega big news for PulseChain, and Soil Token has been on a nice little run since it got forked over as well. So it's going to be really, really exciting. We're going to get into all the details. We're going to talk about SolidX and X Game. That is hot off the press. We're going to talk about that. And, of course, all the markets. So it's going to be a fun show, folks. It, of course, is coming off Monday for the stock market. And so we're going to briefly touch on that. And, of course, the big news, it looks like China's getting very close to getting to making a deal with the old trade there. And, of course, that means that Trump's strategy is looking hot. It's looking hot there. And, of course, the three-legged stool, we talked about that. And tariffs, of course, is that third leg. And it looks like it's going very well indeed. Now, I want to say a big shout out to the King community. If you haven't checked out King, there's GooGod announced there. Big shout out to GooGod. Man, I think he's doing just a great job there promoting. And, of course, as you guys know, promotion's really number one there. You got to have good. You got to have a good token, right? And, of course, King pays some pretty tasty little morsels there, paying most token, PulseX. And, of course, it's got a good old Teddy takeover as well. So definitely check out King. Big shout out to Good God in the house today. Definitely join up to Telegram there. What a great community as well. All right, so let's get into it. If you are new, get into the chat as well. We're going to be ramping things up over the time. But before we get into that, we're going to have to repost the channel, of course, on X. Make sure you get out to do that. That's very important. And sharing is caring, right? So that's the way we go. In fact, I'm just looking for the stream. Actually, I can't even. Oh, there it is. It's the stream's there. We haven't got the live stream image there on old X, but we're going to post that as well. So repost the show, on X, and that is the link there. Now, hey, look, we're possibly going to have some very big guests coming on the show in the week ahead of us. So stay tuned for that. And I'm talking big. It's going to be some of the key stuff on PulseChain, so you guys do not want to miss that. I'm talking about A-listers are coming on. We're going to have some A-listers. Do we have A-listers? I guess we do. We're just going to call them A-listers. They are pretty big in the community, and so look forward to that. That's coming up this week from the looks of it. All right, so we got repost the show here on X. Get it out there. We got Wookie in the house there. The King is here. We got Wookie as well. He loves the King token, so big shout out there. Wookie is one of our two community leaders. Big shout out. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. And I want to talk about the socials first, because that's what we do, right? We talk about the socials. So let's get into that right now. Now, we've got obviously the Crypto Night Show. I posted this yesterday, and it says, I think a hero is an ordinary individual who finds strength to persevere and to endure in spite of the overwhelming obstacles. I think that's a great inspiration. That's from, of course, the Christopher Reeves, I would say the greatest Superman, the personification of Superman and Clark Kent. And I think that's a pretty cool comment that he made. I think a hero is an ordinary individual. That's just, pretty much anybody who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of the overwhelming obstacles. So that's great inspiration there as well. And I think that was a pretty good start there. Now, of course, you guys can join the show. You can hit the subscribe button on YouTube. You can join Rumble. And, of course, you can watch on X right now. And we've got pretty much 13,000 subscribers. So you can join that. If you're new to the channel, definitely join. I'm going to post the link to this in the socials there. We also, of course, you can join our Discord. We've got 1,100 members in Discord. And you can join our strategy club. You get a lot of alpha. That's the top tier alpha that we provide in our ecosystem for the Kryptonite Show. That is only $35 a month. So it's fantastic value. If you're really busy, and you don't have a chance to look at everything, you guys know we cover everything. You're going to get all the short list there. You're going to be able to get all the analysis and in there. And I've just posted last night, the May report for the month, and also the top 10 protocols as well to have, to consider for your portfolio. So check it out. It's only $35 a month. A fantastic value. Join up today. That is the link, and I'm going to post a link to this post in a minute. Community membership, of course, a standard community member in our private Discord is $12.50. So join up to that today. We had a cool new member joining yesterday, so welcome to them as well. Then we also got free. We got something free here, the new Telegram chat. We've got 320 members in there. We've just opened that up, so you can join that as well. You get to meet founders and influencers. Yeah, we've got a number of founders and influencers in there, as well as the free alpha list as well. That's kind of our general alpha list, so you can check that out. It has risky to safer protocols in there, but definitely some exciting stuff in that list. We also have the first and best and most dedicated X Game Telegram. And of course, that's going to be a huge viral game. So you definitely want to join up to that. You can join up to that for free as well. And you're going to get all the latest news, everything in there. It's going to be great. And then finally, we've got our promotions crypto team, where it's professional. I think it possibly is the first professional crypto team set up in the current bull market cycle. And so we get out there and we promote really cool crypto projects. And of course, up to 35,000 crypto enthusiasts to that size audience. So it's a pretty big reach as well. And you can contact MVS. He's our promotional lead. So if you see MVS around, Crypto MVS, he's our promotions lead for the Crypto Night Show team. And of course, this is helping a lot of cool projects meet, really cool crypto enthusiasts as well. So it's pretty exciting now. Now, we do have more cool alpha and opportunities soon, and that is for real. We've got a number of initiatives coming up soon. So keep a lookout for that. We are looking to grow, because we're getting ready for this bull market ahead of us. Particularly for PulseChain, it will be coming, and so we're getting ready for that, and we're also playing our role, playing our part in that. Now, this is a really cool quote just to finish off this post. Stuff isn't the end game. I really like that. Stuff, material things isn't the end game, essentially, or digital things in the necessary. People are the end game, and that's so true. That's so true. So for me, my legacy is building a community with wonderful morals, and you guys know that as a Christian, I really believe in that big time. It certainly improves people's lives. And of course, wonderful values. Values are very important, right? And of course, wonderful performance. Obviously, we're in crypto. We want to get good performance as well. We've got to pay for the new Rolls Royce or something. I don't know. You decide. We got, and of course, a shining city on a hill. And of course, that's a great place, a great beacon of hope and positivity. And that's kind of like where we sit as well. That's from Richard Hart, based on the 11th of January, 2022. So a really great quote from Richard. And I think that was from one of the conferences that was held as well. So that was brought to you by, of course, the Crypto Night Show. So you definitely got to check that out. Now, I'm going to post the link to that in the chat there if you want to join up to any of the socials and get involved. There's something for everybody on that list, right? Something for everybody. So join the Crypto Night Show socials, and become part of our community. Pretty much, we are looking to grow and be a positive force in the PulseChain ecosystem. So definitely check that out. That is the link right there. Bam, bam, bam. All right, so let's see what else we got here. We got Craig Pitt in the house. Good morning, all. Thanks for all you do, Superman. I appreciate that, Craig. Big shout out to you. Always a pleasure to see Craig in the house. Diamond Hands as well. Got the eyes out, looking around. Keep looking. All right, so that is pretty much it on there. I think that was all I want to talk about on that one today. I did some fun polls yesterday, I think. What did I do? I did... posted about this. So Michael Saylor, they bought more Bitcoin. This is how bullish he is. MSTR, of course, acquired another 1,900 Bitcoin for $180 million at $95,167. Isn't that crazy? So that's awesome crazy, of course. And they have got a yield of 40% year to date, and they now hold 555,450 Bitcoin. Remember, there's only about 19.8 million, so they got 555,000, over 500,000 of those. So a huge percentage. Worth $38 billion at the moment. And of course, they've got average price $68,000. So they're well in the money there at 95. So that was Michael Saylor. Obviously, we're going to talk about Banxa. Of course, Hex Scout here posting something about Banxa. This will be the biggest moment for PulseChain since launch. And absolutely, this is a mega deal, right? This is a big corporate out of Europe, the old Sun Mini Meal. Have got the holy grail of health food, losing calories while having all your nutrients that you need. It really is a game changer. And of course, they're expanding from Europe into going global. And if I understand correctly, they're doing about 20% of the revenue will go back into the Soul token, which represents their value there. And they're going to be able to onboard with Banxa. It's a big deal. New people, a new capital, a big deal here for PulseChain. and potentially could be really, really large over and compounded over years, right? Aggregated, accumulated. It's going to be pretty awesome there. Banxa is going live today in just a few hours. Now, we're going to check out, see whether they actually have yet or not. But Sun has just doubled the liquidity and is gearing up for launch. Woohoo! So big liquidity has been doubled up on the old Sun. And that, of course, is the SOIL token, SOIL. Real money straight into PulseChain, no bridges, no workarounds, and this changes everything. If you're part of this movement, make some noise. And of course, this is a thread, so full thread coming in hot, and that's pretty cool from Hex Scout there, been covering this. Now, what I was going to say about this is that we've got a big piece of news here right now. This is only 40 minutes old, so this is just kind of hot off the press here, which is pretty exciting. And we've definitely still got Diamond Hand's eyes looking around because it's pretty cool. More BTC, I know. Look, Michael Saylor's got a target of $13 million by 2045. That's his midpoint target. His high target's even higher than that. So $13 million Bitcoin, it's kind of a no-brainer for that. If you're looking for retirement, it just seems like a logical place to put some of your wealth there. Let's go, Superman. I agree with that. StakeX, good to see you in the house. All right, so yeah, this came on off the press here. Breaking, getting into crypto is hard. Getting into PulseChain was harder until now. The biggest PulseChain breakthrough since launch. The ultimate Banxa guide for PulseChain. You can now access PulseChain directly using everyday payment methods like bank transfer, Visa, or Apple Pay. No bridging, no swapping, no stress. Banxa is live, folks. Banxa is live. This hot off the press. This just got launched about 30 minutes or so ago. The fastest, simplest way in. This is more than a payment feature. It's the moment PulseChain becomes accessible to everyone, not just crypto insiders. And it's talking about you guys out there. Sun AG has opened a direct fiat gateway to PulseChain via the SOIL token. Woo! And of course, the SOIL token has been doing pretty well. We're going to check out on that later on, so stay tuned for that. And of course, it's available now at checkout.banxa.com. And so we're going to open that up and check that out. This setup is unlike anything the PulseChain ecosystem has ever seen before. Top-tier usability, simple payment interface, high-speed onboarding from fiat to PulseChain in under 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes, guys. Pretty amazing. Unbeatable conditions, starting at just 1%, which I think is a pretty reasonable fee rate. Global reach, 135 countries, including the United States, EU, UK, Australia, Asia, and even Africa there. And so pretty awesome, exciting stuff for the people in Africa. I know they're going to be enjoying that in South Africa, wherever they might be. Pretty cool. All major payment types, bank transfers, credit cards, and pay apps. So this is as easy as it gets, isn't it? Shark-friendly limits as well. So for the bigger players, up to 150,000 and up to 500 times more than most on-ramps have. So 150K, pretty awesome. Internationally regulated provider, listed on exchanges, compliant across continents. So you got that stability and that credibility of the provider Banxa there. Direct liquidity via Batias. So obviously Batias, we went through that yesterday, right? We went through all the top DEX aggregators, and of course Batias there is dominating the volume in that as well. So no risk of hacks or thefts there. So pretty exciting. A true unique mix, which is pretty cool. So this is hot off the press, of course. The first mass market ready way to get to PulseChain. Fast, easy, even your mum can do it. A big shout out to the mums out there. You guys know. Get started in minutes. No crypto skills needed. Thanks to this low barrier entry, our ecosystem is positioned for a massive onboarding surge to PulseChain during the bull run. Oh, man. Oh, this is so good. No more long-winded explanations that kill conversations. No more beginner hostile journeys. Fiat exchange wallet bridge. You don't have to do the big talk about. And of course, you talk to someone who doesn't know anything about crypto, and they're like, "What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?" I'm just trying to get 2% in the bank. It's all now possible in one single step. 24/7 instant access makes the bridge downtime a thing of the past. So obviously, the official bridge, we talked about that yesterday as well. Now, obviously, we still have very good providers with the bridge and with all these different on-ramps. I talked about that in yesterday's video. Check that out. We did a full list. But also, we've got Coast out there doing a fantastic job as well. But this adds another next level. Really is pretty incredible. 24/7 instant access, bridge downtime, a thing of the past. This new way to access PulseChain is being launched in 2 phases. Phase 1, Banxa access for existing PulseChain users already live. So if you're an existing PulseChain user, it is already live. Phase 2, Banxa access for new users with no Pulse yet, launching in 48 hours. So this is the second phase. So over the next 48 hours, we're going to end up having the second access for new users. So this is a game changer. You even get a free Pulse when buying SOIL token via Banxa, thanks to the Pulse Coin List bot. So big shout out to the Pulse Coin List there, Pulse Coin List. You're instantly ready to swap on PulseChain at Batias into any token of your choice, which is pretty cool. So you're instantly ready to swap on PulseChain at BTS into any token of your choice. You can't ask for more than that. Important note, the free Pulse service will launch with a slight 48-hour delay as the integration by Pulse CoinList still needs to be completed. So that's a caution there or a note. And of course, this means Banxa is this means that Banxa as an adoption tool for new users will roll out with a delay, but Banxa as a high-speed, top-tier on-ramp for those already holding Pulse is live starting today. So that's fantastic news there. Massive thanks to Sun AG, Sunny Minimal, big shout out to them. And of course, who made this possible and financed the six-figure investment for the PulseChain community, and to Batias for turning it into a technically flawless process. And that is really a big deal, right? The flawless process, it's easy to use, but it's hard to put in place. So you'll be quite surprised. So big shout for that. Now your grandma. We talked about the mothers. Now we're talking about the grandma. Now your grandma, no matter where in the world she lives, get a big shout out to our beautiful grandmas out there, can onboard to PulseChain without needing a PhD in DeFi or a 37-step tutorial. Let the bull run begin. PulseChain is ready, and let's go. Follow up the tweets below with more details. That's going to be pretty cool. So kind of cool. We got some of this there. Why is Banxa currently the most important? Now I'm going to have to repost this, of course. Let me just get that out first. So let's get that out, and bam. I'm actually going to quote this. I think because it's pretty awesome. Check out what are we going to say? Check out PulseChain's new mega. I love it. Mega onboarding with a Banxa, and we got Banxa there, and what Sun Mini Milk. Let's check out PulseChain's new. I've got to make that little U there. PulseChain's new mega onboarding with PulseChain. It is. Oh, it is. We're going to put some fire. Let's do some fire animations. Let's do it. You guys know I love fire. Fire is my thing. All right, so it is a fire. All right, so let's go. And I might put a little rocket on the end there. Why not? Let's do that. Let's put another rocket. Come on, guys. Let's do it. And that's where we're at. So check out PulseChain's new mega onboarding with Banxa and Sun Minimal. It is fire. All right, cool. So that is out. And we got why is Banxa currently. I'm going to post this in the chat too, by the way, so you guys can leave comments and repost and share around. That's probably the way to go there. So Banxa, and you can post that link there. Bam, that's from Hex Scout, which does amazing information around Hex stakes and stuff like that. So check that out. That is the Banxa link there. Pretty awesome, right? Pretty awesome. This is mega news. Yeah, Diamond Hand says bullish, super bullish. Hexcavator in the house there. Hey, again, good to see you, Hexcavator. Big shout out to you as well. Yeah, this is a pretty big deal today, folks. That's why I've been focusing on it early. Remember, I've been covering this well before it launched. I don't know, 2 months ago. I can't remember now. It's quite a while. And we've been very excited about the Sun Mini Meal, Banxa, and of course, Hex Scout covering this as well. Pretty exciting. So let's get into the rest of it. Why Banxa is currently the most important on-ramp on PulseChain. If you're a new user, no matter your country, payment method, or crypto experience, you want to onboard quickly, intuitively, and without low limits. You don't have to know anything. Banxa delivers the best total package so far to enable mass adoption on PulseChain, which I think is pretty amazing. It's the total package that makes the difference, right? A complete beginner onboarding in minutes, no restricted limits blocking you, no high drop out rates like the other ramps, lower KYC friction keeps everything simple. And this is really important. We're in DeFi, we kind of like the low KYC, if no KYC. And of course, this is pretty cool. Real-time 24/7 access means no more bridge downtime frustration, which is fantastic. Banxa entirely in line with Richard Hart's vision as well. Richard Hart has long advocated for reduced reliance on trust-based systems. Exchanges can screw you for money, and of course, it's from Richard Hart, because they're not well functioning code on the blockchain. PulseChain lets people remove the need for trust and introduce security by being a decentralized, immutable source of truth, which I just love that too. And of course, we know that Richard Hart sort of did help defeat the SEC and help prove those points, which is pretty cool. While centralized exchanges continue to play a key role in crypto adoption, many projects building on PulseChain are increasingly exploring trustless alternatives, systems that align more directly with blockchain's founding principles of decentralization, transparency, and resilience. This is where the new Banxa integration developed in cooperation with Sun and Batias truly sets itself apart. Rather than relying on external liquidity sources or off-chain pricing mechanisms, this solution routes fiat on-ramps, and that's the key part, right, directly onto PulseChain via the decentralized smart routing service of Batias. I mean, beautiful, right? What a beautiful marriage made in heaven on the old PulseChain. And this is a big deal, right? Big deal. This is what you want, the easiest way, the most simplest way to get onto PulseChain. There's new users, existing users, and of potentially a ton of capital flowing through in a natural way, right? Flowing in. And what is just a wonderful thing. So a real game changer for PulseChain. This approach ensures that all liquidity stays on chain. There is no hidden spreads. No fees are paid in Pulse that could lead to unnecessary sell pressure. Users benefit, and that's probably pretty key, right? So that last point there. And of course, users benefit from an experience that is fully transparent. And that experience is so important, right? This is like the holy grail. So this is super exciting, guys. And real honestly, as I'm reading it, it really just blows your mind. Users benefit from an experience that is fully transparent, block native, and of course, seamlessly integrated with PulseChain DeFi infrastructure, all while enjoying familiar payment options like bank transfers, credit cards, and mobile wallets. Code over trust, systems over promises, a practical step towards a more decentralized future built for users, built on chain. A common concern with some on-ramp solutions is that fees are collected in Pulse and then dumped on the market. And of course, that is always a concern, created unwanted sell pressure. With Banxa, that's not the case. I mean, this is keep adding more alpha on top of this, it's so heavy, I'm being weighed down by alpha from the. Anyway, so here's how it works. And of course, when you get into that, I just see that we've got Rack and Rochelle in the house. That big shout out, Christian Rochelle. And of course, in with the $500 super sticker. I really do appreciate that. We'll talk soon. I got your message. I appreciate that. And like I said we're going to get some A-listers in the show coming up. And really looking forward to Rack and Michelle, Christian Michelle there coming on to the show. Big shout, and a much appreciated hyper super sticker there. And thanks very much. I see it comes out nice and a bright orange red, which is pretty nice. And we'll talk soon. I'm definitely excited to get you on the show as always. All right, so let's continue on. And this is pretty awesome. So we got if additional liquidity is needed on PulseChain, Banxa simply tops up their buffer, keeping the system smooth and reliable. And of course, we just heard earlier that they had doubled the liquidity as well in the Sol, I think, pair. This custom setup was developed by Sun in collaboration with Batias and Banxa to ensure maximum safety, optimal user conditions, and full access to PulseX liquidity. Thanks to this on-chain first approach, former limitations such as those seen with providers like ChangeNow no longer apply. So thanks to this on-chain first approach, former limitations such as those seen with providers like ChangeNow no longer apply. Now, wasn't this funny? Because yesterday I did a show covering all the DEXs. I did a show covering all the on-ramps. I did a show covering all the block explorers, right? All of those are still fundamentally important. And of course, they all offer different features and benefits. But now here we have the next level, which just hyper complements that. And of course, makes it really easy for onboarding. And that onboarding thing is that sweet spot that we really want to make really easy for people. And this is at the right time, at the right place in the market too. Unbelievable there. The on-ramp for PulseChain, mass adoption, beginner friendly, high limits, low fees, and 24/7 access. I mean, that's just, you can't ask for much better than that, can you? Pretty awesome. What a huge write-up there too. Fantastic write-up. And that's just come out 50 minutes ago. Pretty awesome. We got another thread here. We're going to read that through that as well. This is a once in an opportunity lifetime here, and so pretty exciting to go through this. So fast and cheap access to PulseChain impossible, not anymore. Banxa makes it possible thanks to special conditions negotiated by Sun for PulseChain users. Example transaction costs. There's a few examples. So let's say you do an investment of $1,000. The classic route would be $15 to $150, depending on the ETH gas fees. With Banxa, it's $10. So that's a fixed 1%. So that's pretty awesome, right? So that's give you an idea there. Classic basically means the mass adoption, unfriendly route, basically a bank to an exchange to a wallet to the bridge. Banxa fee is based on a 1% bank transfer fee in the EU, for example. So this is really a game changer in terms of cost as well. I mean, these guys have thought of everything, and looks like they've brought the A game into PulseChain here. The real advantage of Banxa, even though Banxa's on-ramp is not only competitive in price and sometimes even cheaper, the true value lies in what this high-speed on-ramp enables. And of course, mass adoption for PulseChain. I mean, that is outstanding. I should have put that on the title of the video. It'd be pretty awesome. But hey, look, we got Banxa on-ramps for the win. And it's pretty close. And high-speed onboarding in only just 5 minutes. Beginner-friendly, intuitive, and easy to use without having to study the route. perfect for first-time chain users. Mass market ready. Only the combo of speed and simplicity can bring the masses on board. And of course, asset price protection. Get access to assets before the prices skyrocket during the bull run. Now, the one thing I was going to say about this with mass adoption, let's see where they head with this line of thinking, because I got a big comment to write about this, and of course, or to make about this. Because of mass adoption requires such conditions. From the perspective of a large investor base, a chain can only achieve mass adoption if it meets onboarding standards like these. Thanks to Banxa, the road to PulseChain is now open. Isn't it? I mean, you don't get much better than that, guys. The road to PulseChain is now open, and there are no obstacles in the way. I love it. But what about these hidden fees? You might ask. Fair question, but not with Banxa. No hidden additional fees, no spread manipulation, 1% all in. EU example, see global conditions below, of course. If you pay by credit card, Google, or Apple Pay instead of bank transfer, higher fees will apply. That's pretty common, so just take note of that, the payment method. But even here, Banxa performs more than 20% cheaper than competitors like ChangeNow, thanks to Sun negotiated terms, which is awesome. Big thank you to Sun Minimail out there for help making all this happen, and pretty incredible. Of course, fees and coverage, a deep dive. There's bank transfer support. Look at all these ones here. So you've got a whole list. EU, UK, Canada, Australia, US, Netherlands, Thailand, Turkey, Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, Chile, and South Africa. Pretty awesome. Card and wallet support in 135 countries. Visa, MasterCard, and of course you got that, and Apple Pay and Google Pay. Awesome, right? Similar to Visa. Guaranteed, no additional hidden costs. Isn't that fantastic? So that's pretty awesome. And where the thread keeps going. This is a mega thread. We're loving this. Who is behind the renowned on-ramp on Banxa? Well, Banxa is powering the future of Web3 payments. This isn't some unknown provider. This is a globally recognized player with serious credentials. Banxa Holdings is a Canadian company headquartered in Vancouver, British Columbia. It is publicly listed in the TSX Venture Exchange under the ticker symbol Banxa. Banxa operates as a payment service provider for cryptocurrency exchanges, offering solutions for converting between fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies. With over a decade of experience, here is why it matters. It's headquarters across the USA, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Those are perfect markets, right? Nearly 200 global employees, publicly listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, fiat to crypto in 135 countries, regulated in Australia, Canada, EU, and more. And of course, plug and play on, off ramp their infra for Web3 platforms, so important in crypto. And of course, 15 plus local payments, SEPA, ideal picks, etc. And we've got billions in transaction volumes, millions in monthly active users, seamless bridging, TradeFi, and crypto with compliance at its core. So we may get a lot of cross promotion through that as well. Pretty exciting. So Banxa is the engine behind effortless Web3 access. This changes everything for PulseChain. Welcome to PulseChain. We love you. Isn't that awesome? And they got a cool image there as well. Nice. I like it. So what else we got? We got some more here. We're still going. This is pretty awesome. So we're going to kick through all this because this is just mega news for PulseChain, honestly. And I've been talking about this for a month or two at least, and we just knew it was going to be massive. How exactly can you use Banxa to get any token like PulseX or PulseX on PulseChain? And I'm going to make a comment about all this at the end because I think there's a natural thing that flows out of this, seamless onboarding experience, which is huge, right? But solve checkout.banxa.com. And of course, we're going to check out the website in a minute. That is it right there, right? So you got buy coins, sell coins, which is pretty cool. You got break down all the different currencies. Isn't that amazing? This is a game changing, guys, honestly. Look, we even got the New Zealand dollar there. Look at that. Wow, that is pretty awesome. Look at that, all that stuff there. So yeah, Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, it's all there. Pretty cool. And of course, you can sell coins as well. Pretty awesome in that. So nice stuff there with the old Banxa there. Now you have to verify, identify, and then payment. That's kind of the setup there. You can see that on the left. Pretty exciting. And like I say, 48 hours until they get everything finally set up. But if you've got Pulse already, you're on there. You can use it already. Pretty exciting. So yeah, how exactly can you use Banxa? You can buy SOAR tokens via checkout.banxa.com. You'll receive a free Pulse with your SOAR purchase, thanks to the Pulse coin list bot. So you're instantly ready to swap on PulseChain. Important note, the service will launch with a slight delay as the integration by Pulse coin list needs to be completed. Just note that. Swap your SOAR tokens into PulseChain token of your choice safely and add guaranteed best conditions as well via Batias. And of course, Batias, they're the number one DEX aggregator on PulseChain. We went through that yesterday's video. Check that out. So that's how you can do it there. It's got a nice little image, like how they step through that, which is pretty cool. Now that is neat. And then we got what exactly is Soil Token? That enables direct access to PulseChain, a token with real business behind it. Soil on PulseChain, of course, we've gone through this contract in the last couple of days. In particular, is issued by Sun AG in Switzerland. Now they do regular corporate updates. We've watched those videos. Some of them they're typically in German, but sometimes they do have enough English in there that you can follow. We've combined our food business, Sun Mini Meal, the world's healthiest natural whole food. With the deflationary crypto token, Soil is the catalyst for our mission. Isn't that awesome? Race for Soil, we invest 20% of the company's revenue into Soil buy and burn. I mean, it's massive, guys, honestly. So yeah, 20% of the company's revenue. This is revenue, not even profits. This is revenue into Soil buy and burn, launching with the Banxa integration to bring maximum attention to our cause. And the food business is so unique. It's kind of the holy grail. You got healthy food. You get all the nutrients, but you get lower calories. And so it's really good, not only healthy food, but weight loss food as well. Really is kind of the holy grail there. Soil is a true DeFi token, no admin keys, and of course, no minting, no inflation, no way to pause transfers. And they've got their white paper up there, of course, which you should probably read through as well. Deflation by design, 20% of Sun's AG's revenue is used to buy and burn Soil. Massive. I mean, that's what I've been saying. This thing is huge. And I've been talking about Soil Token. You guys you guys heard about Soil Token well before most other people. I think I was the only influencer really consistently covering Sun AG and Sun Mini Meal. So you guys had like the heads up as usual. We're always kind of covering everything. So you get a bit of a taste of everything. With Sun targeting billions of revenue by 2030, this creates a direct, transparent link between business success and long-term token value. More than 12,000 wallets currently hold Soil Token. Not official, just helpful. A private dashboard for Soil stats and charts. And we got one there, right there. So it's pretty cool. And we're going to open that up and have a quick look at that. And so that's pretty cool. It's got a nice little spreadsheet there on Soil Token stats. Nice. So yeah, pretty awesome. We're going to probably talk more about that in a different video, actually. Built by Batias for maximum transparency, no taxes, hidden fees, proxy contracts, oracles, or re-entrancy risk. Full alignment with Richard Hart's ideal token standards as well. According to ChatGPT analysis, Soil stands out as a textbook example of a pure, secure, and future-ready DeFi token, earning a full 5 out of 5 stars, a decentralization, code quality, and on-chain integrity. And that was May 2025 there. Audited by Ether Authority, rated well-sourced. Soil Token passed the security audit with flying colors, zero critical risk, zero high risk, and 100% decentralized. No ownership functions or central control. This audit, of course, confirms Soil Token meets the high security standards and is production ready. And I got the full report for that as well. Midgard PulseChain AI scanner, we went through that yesterday, remember? And that has it on a low risks rating as well. Optionally, but highly recommended. The real insights start here. Sun's vision, of course, is to build a global customer base in the millions, and of course, use Soil as the vehicle to bring those users directly onto PulseChain. And that says it all in a nutshell, right? Build a global customer base in the millions and use Soil as the vehicle to bring those users directly onto PulseChain. Unbelievable. And of course, this makes you think of a few other questions related to this, but we're just going to leave this here as it is. I think that's pretty awesome. Soil as a loyalty engine, customers receive Soil as a reward when buying Sun's product. OMG. Just like the more you read through this, like the more bullish you get, right? It's really crazy. Turning the token into a crypto-powered loyalty and discount system fully funded by Sun. Soil is not minted to create from the thin air. Sun purchases Soil on the open market using company revenue. Get out. Get out of here, guys. Get out. That's crazy. That's awesome. So we got no dilution. The community supply remains untouched. Every token distributed or bought, not printed. And of course, real-world utility meets blockchain. It's an ambitious and forward-thinking attempt to bridge real-world commerce with blockchain utility. Now, normally we're thinking about, how can we, tokenize, property or tokenize, just anything in the real world. And here we are. We've got, I don't know, it feels like almost the reverse. It's almost like it's the same thing, but it's almost coming from the other side. It's like normally we're on the digital world trying to, tokenize the real world. And of course, here it looks like we're doing the real world's trying to tokenize, tokenize the real world or something. It's just a little different. It's different there. It's an ambitious and forward-thinking attempt to bridge real-world commerce with blockchain utility. In many ways, Soil behaves like a crypto-native equity instrument directly tied to the business performance of Sun AG. which is incredible. Now, I've seen some varying numbers out there for Sun AG's current revenue, so we'll try and get some hard numbers on those too. Of course, we've got deflation through growth. As revenue grows, more tokens are bought and burned from the real world. This is coming from business activity, not from investors per se, right? So it's coming in from revenue. It's pretty amazing. This shrinks supply and concentrates value. And at the last time I looked, Sun Mini-Meal Sol token had a 220 million market cap. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see that play out as well. And startup logic, high risk, high reward, like early stage startup stock. Sol combines utility with exposure to Sun's success, offers high upside potential, carries typical growth ventures risk as well. So just note those issues there. The PulseChain milestone Sol is the first non-core token to introduce a direct fiat gateway to PulseChain network. Man, the fundamentals for this are incredible. The six-figure on-ramp investment, including legal opinions from multiple markets, was fully funded by Sun AG. So a big shout out to Sun AG, not only for the vision, not only for executing this on-ramp, but also for funding it as well. And of course, you can't say enough good things about that, right? You can't say enough good things about that. They had a dual mission, of course, provide their own actual five-figure customer base with seamless access to Sol. The traditional bridging process has shown to be too complex for most of Sun's non-crypto native customers. And we know this. You talk to people that are not in crypto, they are clueless about what you're talking about, right? It takes some time even to get to the beginner level. So this is pretty exciting. Like, this is something they're familiar with, highlighting the need for a more seamless and user-friendly solution to enable true mass adoption. So 100% on that. Following Richard Hart's call, provide PulseChain with a high-performance fiat on-ramp to outgrow the entire ecosystem. Of course, Sun Mini-Meal and Banxa have helped make that happen. Coming next in May 2025, Sun AG will launch its own on-ramp in partnership with Floin.com, which provides Sun customers with their own crypto wallets. Now, we knew this was coming, right? They had talked about their own crypto wallets, making token collection possible even for customers with zero crypto knowledge. Now, that's for their customers, right? I don't believe this is going to be extrapolated over to the current existing users of PulseChain, who are obviously pretty knowledgeable about crypto and DeFi. So I believe this is just limited to their customers, right? So that's very important there with the Floin.com. Now we're going to open that up to have a quick look at the Floin.com. And so they're going to be doing some sort of wallet with them. So pretty exciting with the old Floin. All right, so we got which will provide some customers with their own crypto wallets. Fantastic, right? At Floin, only the most trusted, vetted, and value-driven token projects earn a place on the platform. We just don't list, we curate there. That's from Floin team. Credit where it's due. Sun has developed the most professional onboarding experience in PulseChain to date. Only the Hex Scout tour becomes close to the quality. And of course, if you've looked at your Hex stakes or mining, that is from Hex Scout, is the really top dashboard for that. Where most projects stay silent, Sun goes live twice a week, and of course we've seen that a lot of them in German, but you can follow a bit of it in English. The community isn't just supported; it's actively engaged. Every Sunday, founder company live stream, and every Thursday, crypto special live stream as well. So if you speak, if you sprechen Sie Deutsch, if you sprechen Sie Deutsch, speak the German, you'll be able to understand all of that rather than just little bits of it as well on the charts. And I only read the charts and I see there's a little bit of English there, a little bit of numbers or something. Hosted live in German, the native language of Sun AG, Switzerland-based operations. No hype, no scripts, just open, transparent dialogue. Direct from the source. If you're looking for a project that shows up, speaks up, and stands up to its roadmap, you'll feel right at home here. Now, this is the thing, right? People can say stuff and they don't follow up with actions, but these people are saying stuff constantly and they're constantly following up with the actions. So that's a winner right there, right? We said on ramps win for the win. This is definitely for the win with the old Sun Mini-Meal and Banxa here. The mission behind Race for Sol. Why is Sun so dedicated to the Race for Sol mission? Sun AG took UNICEF's global warning seriously that humanity is running out of arable land. The call was clear. Solutions must be found. Sun created one such solution. And of course, that's their introduction to Sun Mini-Meal, right? So it's pretty cool. We've gone through quite a lot of this. So I'm just going to jump through some of this stuff here. Global sensation, token supply. Of course, we're going to jump through some of that. The main deflationary structure, of course, started off with 5 billion Sol tokens. That were minted. Around 30% are held by Sun AG. The rest went to early customers from the first two years. But this wasn't just another airdrop. These tokens are backed by approximately 100 million euro in real customer contributions spent within a few months to gain Sol minting rights. and that's why there's no mass dumping of freebies, right? So why so many are still holding? These aren't typical crypto traders. They're real customers who believe Sun AG could, of course, grow into a global company. Nothing is guaranteed. Source value is directly tied to the company's long-term success. And there is a built-in transparency with the buy and burn model, right? So that's important there, like a dividend or earning report. It provides live insights, and of course, shrinking burns, business might be slowing. Growing burns, things are expanding. So that's how easy the measure is, up or down. It's not just hype; it's data. This gives holders a tool to make smart, fact-based decisions long before emotions take over. And of course, volatility will still exist in the market, right? So that just take note of that. Anyone investing in a startup must understand that they are investing in something that is still needs to prove itself. So that is around that. Because those that believe in the future of PulseChain will find more conservative assets, Hex, Pulse, and PulseX, created by Richard Hart specifically for the DeFi world, which also offer liquidity to handle large capital allocations. Always stay diversified and never expose yourself to overly one-sided investments there. And looking pretty good, right? Looking pretty good there. And that is the analysis there from the new block explorer about the token. So looking pretty good. And of course, that's from Midgard, right? Midgard. So kind of cool. They've got some FAQs here. I'm not going to go through all this, but top 10 questions, they've got all those in there as well. So you can read through those. I'm not going to read through them now, but they're all there as well. And I did post the link to all this, so you can check out the top 10 FAQs, which will probably be pretty good. And then, of course, if you found this valuable, hit the likes and the algorithm. So pretty awesome. And of course, great summary. Let's say, fantastic. Let's do fantastic, thread and epic Sun mini meal. Let's do this justice, shall we? Some mini. I'm trying to type and look at the screen again. Mini meal and a Banxa. And what else are we going to say? That fantastic thread, and of course let's put the old Soul token at the end there. I think that works pretty well there. Nice. All right, so we give it some love, and so that is the huge mega thread there. Fantastic, right? Fantastic. And I think we're going to repost all of this. To be honest, I did a quote, but we're going to repost the whole lot because I think that's fantastic there. And this is mega news for PulseChain. Honestly, this is sort of stuff that you hope comes along, right? You hope it comes along, and when it does, you got to get out there and spread the word because that's a huge, massive win for not only for I guess Sun Mini Meal, but also for the PulseChain community at large, and of course all the new people that are going to come on with this, right? So pretty awesome. So well done to Hex Scout there for that. Very exciting indeed. So mega news there. And of course, we got this new wallet for their customers. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to highlight a lot of Richard Hart tokens and a lot of top tokens, no doubt. And of course, we got Banxa there making it happen with the new interface. Fantastic. We're going to come back to this again over the next few days. So we'll be revisiting Banxa as well. So hold on to it for that. They got some cool token breakdown list as well, which I think is pretty awesome. So we're going to get into all that too. I'm going to save that to the favorites as well. And then we've got the Sun Mini Meal, right? So let's go to Sun Mini Meal. This is on X. And, it's important to take the time to go through these mega updates that are happening on PulseChain. And, we got all this here. Look at that. Number 47 minutes ago. Of course, the token is trending. Let's have a quick look through some of these. So let's just scroll back up here. And let's get into one that coverage from Hex Scout. They were talking about these regular updates every week, right? The corporate updates and the crypto updates. Well, this is one of them here, and you can see it. It's in German, of course, and they got really cool charts. Look at that. So you got the Soul token here. You can see them talking about that live, and then you've got the founder, the CEO, and I believe he may be also a Hex OG as well, if I understand it, and pretty awesome, right? Pretty awesome. So big shout out to Sun Mini Meal there. Now they've just posted out as well, not just Hex Scout, so they've reposted the Hex Scout there. Huge thanks to Hex Scout for this incredible post. Every question you might have about Banxa launch and PulseChain momentum it brings to PulseChain is thoroughly addressed right there. So that's pretty awesome. And Banxa is live now. Buy Saul directly. Getting on Banxa has never been easier there. So I'm going to repost that too. And a huge congratulations to Sun Mini Meal and Banxa on bringing this AAA plus on-ramp to PulseChain forever It's a forever grateful. PulseChain. Cross-chain community. I'm just going to say it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm speaking on the whole community now, but hey, it's just the way it goes. And a few little spell checks there on the way. And let's put in that fire. I got to do my fire again. You guys know. Actually, let's do some rockets, do some fire, do some parties there. That's how we go. And of course, let's put out some little horns as well. So that's pretty cool. So fantastic news there for that. And very, very exciting. So let's get into it. We got all these other influencers on the list as well. So big shout out there. And Sun Minimi will post the PulseChain. So Save Soil. So kind of cool. So that is out as well. And of course, you can check out Banxa. Of course, we're going to open that one more time on here. And you can see the checkout there. That is pretty cool. And we've got, New Zealand dollars there. Awesome. We've got Australian dollars. Like what else can you ask for, right? So kind of cool there. I guess we can type in soil. Now I guess we can have that in there somewhere. We've got dollars. I guess it's on the buy side, but you can check all that. We've got Visa, MasterCard, Google Pay, Pay ID. It's so easy. How quick is that? That is insanely quick. And of course, up to 48 hours there to get that all ready. Pretty awesome. But if you're already on the old PulseChain, apparently you can use that now. Now you can find a full FAQ, of course, on that. We've done that. And Soil is number one trending asset on PulseChain. You can now buy Soil on Banxa within minutes. Pretty awesome. And we're going to cover that too. We'll push that out. We'll repost that. And that is that. So on that one. So big shout out to Sun Minimi. And of course, let's get back into Banxa. Of course, Banxa here. Real time just to wrap this section up of the show. And of course, well worth giving a lot of time to this because this is so mega huge. And of course, Banxa out there as well doing their job. I'm just having a look through some of these announcements here. So it looks like they're pre-announcement on the other channels. But you can definitely check out Banxa there as well. So pretty awesome, right? That is outstanding, man. That was awesome to go through that. I hope you guys enjoyed that coverage. That was pretty fulsome coverage. Now, obviously, I didn't go through the 10 FAQs, but definitely check those out. They probably have a lot of little good stuff in there too. On fire, says X-Vader, absolutely. Game over, says there's Wookie. And of course, Superman, yeah, GG and Hexen is massive, dude. Massive. Hey, we've got a good crowd at the moment. We've got about 125 people watching, so big shout out. Definitely share the channel around. Don't forget to do that. And there is the show there. Share it around now because we're just getting warmed up. We're just getting warmed up here. We've got so much stuff to cover today. We started off with about as big as it gets. That Sun Minimi, Banxa Onramp, that's about as big as it gets. That is massive for PulseChain today. And if you guys were feeling good, you can feel great now. I mean, that is outstanding. And to start the week off like that, fantastic. Pretty awesome stuff. Now, also, of course, don't forget to join the Kryptonite socials. If you're loving this content, you want more. Like I say, we're going to be looking to get some AAA listers onto the show. And of course, that's going to be a lot of fun to interview some of them, get some real key insights into what their thoughts are about PulseChain and crypto, what they're up to as well. We're going to be getting some pretty exciting guests on. You're going to love it. It's going to be a massive string of alpha drops with these new people coming on the show. So it's going to be pretty cool. What else there? We've got the other thing I want to talk about was obviously a Banxa post. So you can check that out on Hex Scout. That's the mega post, mega thread. What an epic thread it was. We went through a lot of it. So definitely check that out. Big shout out to Hex Scout for that. Special thanks to Rack and Michelle out there for the big super sticker. Much appreciated. Much love out there. And of course, who knows? What's he talking about with the message? We're going to find out soon enough, right? We'll talk soon. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. Big shout out to Rackham. And of course, Rackham's been one of the whales leading the way. You know, we've been talking about Rack and Michelle with us. We went through some of the tokens he's been getting into recently. And of course, that's been exciting about XUSD and Vibes and other stuff like that. But we've also been talking about Firewhale, another one of the big whales. And these people aren't just investing, but they're leading the way on PulseChain, both in social media communications, but also in new projects and supporting a lot of stuff. So, you know, we got some pretty impressive people on PulseChain doing some pretty impressive things as well. And look at that. I mean, it's massive. We're going to talk about Firewhale right now because I think that's the next place to go. So it's going to be really, really cool. We've got Fast Abdul in the house there. I'm here for the tech. Hey, look, I mean, Fast Abdul just jumped in the chat and he just did the latest liquidity fork, right? So we've got 4 liquidity forks now, old ink printer there out in the market. So there's a lot of people bringing, you know, really invaluable DeFi to PulseChain at the moment, and it is insane. So you got to get excited out there, get out there, spread the word, and let's get moving forward for this bull market that's ahead. and all these awesome DeFi and utility platforms coming. It is a no-brainer there. But let's get back into the next one, because Firewell, the big whale there, of course, friend of Randy Alaski's, and we've got the old X game. And as you guys know, I've been promoting the X game big time because I see the vision from this. It's very clear to me, and very excited. Huge. And of course, the first game is going to be a crypto casino, right? Decentralized, but it's going to have what I would consider pretty rare, a casino license, which is pretty rare to have in crypto. And that's going to be a big game changer. So as soon as they get that, we could see this launching pretty quickly. It is currently on testnet, of course. Testnet, PulseChain testnet v4 is the block exchange that what am I saying? Block exchange. Am I saying it right? Blockchain. No, I knew something was wrong with it. Blockchain that you need. So V4 there to play it. And of course, you've got to get into our Telegram group, right? Which I posted that list up the top there. You definitely got to get into that because that's pretty mega. Where did I put that list? So if you want to get into all the socials here, that is the link there. So definitely join up today. That's got all our socials in there. Join up to as many of them as you feel comfortable with. But get on that, and you'll be able to find the Telegram group for the old X game there. We've got all the news flows going in there. We're going to have all the game activities, lots of stuff in there. You definitely want to get into that. And it's the first and dedicated one out there, and we're going to hopefully make it the very best as well. Now, they've just come out with an announcement only a couple hours ago. And of course, the X game next round is loading, so get ready for that. Solid X community, your feedback was a key, and the developers are deep in the lab cooking up some big things there. They're implementing the best ideas, polishing the gameplay, and turning up the heat on everything from visuals to UX. So those are not familiar with UX, that is user experience. You might also see another term called UI, that's user interface. That's kind of the idea. So UI, UX, the user experience is kind of the main experience that you're going to have. And yes, a new round of testing is coming soon. More energy, more fire, and more fun. Stay tuned, stay solid. And of course, this is the video play from the Cash game. And it's pretty awesome. That's pretty epic. So I really love that. In fact, I think I still might have one of the videos there as well. So let's go see if I've still got that loaded. And I think it's pretty much the same video. It could be a slightly older, but let me see if I've still got that. I'm not 100% sure. I think it might. Oh, is it that one? No. Thought I might still have it. Don't think I have though. No, I don't have it on the thing. I thought I did, but doesn't seem to have it. But that is, you've basically seen the video. That's pretty awesome. That gameplay looks pretty amazing. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome, mate. And that's the crash game, right? So you get amount of X's. The X's go up. Start off at 0 and they go up and up and up. And can you cash out before the X's get done over, right? Sometimes the X's will be super low, so you virtually have no chance of getting out. But sometimes they can go up to tens, hundreds of X's, thousands of X's. Sometimes is pretty crazy. Now I'm not sure what the max X's they have on their machine. The video for this, but it's going to be pretty exciting. And I already printed out a test video. If you guys have seen it, it's the only test video I've seen out online. So you definitely got to check it out. I put it out on YouTube and on X on the profile. And yeah, we actually got gameplay. I checked around and said, has anyone else done a video on the testnet? And I could find nothing. And I looked a lot far and wide. It doesn't mean I found everything. Obviously, there's someone may have done something, but from what I could see, I couldn't see it. So I put that out. And man, the gameplay is so much fun. And when you're actually playing it with the music, it hypes you up, and you're like, "Oh crap, I got to get out! I got to," it's like it really pulls attention. And I think they've done a good job with that, right? Really good job. So big shout out to the team there. Now I'm going to post that out as well, but I'm going to do a quote after that, so I'm going to leave that for the moment. I'm going to be reposting that shortly. Now that's going to lead us into, of course, the good old markets there. So definitely get in there. Don't forget to smash the follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like and share around. Very cool. Got about 130 people watching at the moment, so definitely share the channel and definitely follow, and definitely get into the socials as well. We are looking to grow, and we are looking to spread the word about PulseChain because it is going to be so much fun. I think we've gone through a lot of the challenges. We're really starting to move into the period of reaping what we sow. And of course, if you sow well, we're going to reap well. And we already see a number of really key players on PulseChain, from Richard Hart through to the new PulseChain website, through to Rack and Michelle, through to Firewell, through to Banxa and Sun Minimeal. Really, we get a lot of great things from big players doing a lot of exciting things here. So you got to get excited, folks, as well. Now, let's get into some of the news here. We had, of course, some bullish news. Now, I've been breaking down Trump's strategy because a lot of people confused, and the mainstream media tells lies all the time, right? In fact, non-stop lies. And apparently they like criminals, but they don't like the victims. So we like the victims. We care about the victims, and of course Trump does too. And he's shaking things up because he's trying to make the golden age of America. And of course, if he makes the golden age of America, he's going to make the golden age for the world as well as for stocks and crypto. And of course, that hits the bottom line, right? So that brings it home to roost. Now, China wants to make a deal very badly, says Trump, and there's no doubt China's economy is in trouble. You've got factories closing down, you've got export sales, export deals not being done. They're under a lot of pressure. Their GDP, they say, is about 4 or 5%, but it's probably really like 0 or 1%, if that. And so they have a lot of issues there. And obviously, there's a lot of power plays going on between President Xi and the military. There's things going on there as well. So it is a big deal. And Trump does have pretty much most of the cards. I wouldn't say all the cards, but most of the cards as the one that's running the deficit. So remember, the deficit, these are serious numbers, right? You got the US debt is 37 trillion. You've got the US, GDP is about 27 trillion. You've got the federal income is about 5.5 trillion, but their spending is 7.7 trillion. So you got about a $2 trillion deficit. Half of that deficit of $2 trillion is in debt alone, interest payments, which is $1 trillion. Can you believe that? $1 trillion. It's like 3 times the amount of the New Zealand's income. It is crazy stuff there. So we've got big numbers there. We've also got a big trade deficit in goods. So it's 1.2 trillion. And yes, America is a net exporter of services, but services don't feed you. They don't protect your resources. They don't manufacture things. So if you get into trouble globally, you're in trouble, right? Because suddenly the resources shut off. You got no manufacturing goods imported. It's a big deal, right? And the other thing, of course, we've seen over the last 50 years, since the 70s, we've seen 7 million jobs lost in manufacturing in the United States. Yes, some of those will not come back, but many of them can come back in terms of manufacturing cars, manufacturing ships, and things like that. So there's lots of things that can come back. But of course, the big game changer, what's that? Well, the cheap costs that were in Asia that drove a lot of that stuff are now rising, right? And now you're getting competition between countries in Asia, as well as, what's the big one? Technology, right? We've got robots, AI, that is booming right now. We are probably in the second level of that maturity, and things are really about to take off. And we already see a lot of big factories are already super automated, right? Elon Musk has automated cars. There's lots of car companies automation. There's lots of automation happening everywhere. They are now at the point that they actually are realized. Sometimes people say, oh, this is going to happen in 5 years. It never happens. It's like 25 years later. That's kind of where we are now. We're that 25-year later type of place, right? But now we're really getting into really hyper exponential computing power. And of course, the convergence, that's the key thing, right? Convergence of AI, computing power, and robotics, right? These are the convergence that's happening. It is a big deal. And we're here now. We're about to get into this new age, which is pretty exciting. And hopefully in this new age, we can keep our humanity as much as possible, right? That's the challenge, keeping your humanity in this modern age, right? So that's the kind of key. And some people don't want to keep humanity. They want to morph on into some, freakish Star Trek thing. But, the rest of us, we love humanity. And of course, the gift that God has given us for all this is so important, right? So we want to maintain that as we really develop. But we're in an exciting age, a golden period. And of course, Trump is going to optimize that into the golden age. It's going to be beautiful, guys. Really is cool. And of course, there's a bit of tough love to make this happen, right? So we all know this, that the Trump's three-legged strategy, and the three-legged strategy is this, right? Deal with the budget deficit, right? Get it to balanced budget, hopefully even to surplus. And of course, you do that by the tax bill that's running through, the big fat tax bill. And of course, you do that by the Doge, right? Getting costs out of the federal budget. And of course, you get fraud and corruption, all that out. And there's tons of it from the Democrat Party, right? They put tons of it through USAID and heaps of other things. I mean, it's so rampant. There's going to be a lot of people going to court over the next couple of years. They're going to, because of kickbacks and corruption. That's going to be a big theme you're going to see. And of course, we're going to get, that's where we are there. So by getting the tax bill, of course, it's going to possibly impact federal revenue, but ultimately will grow federal revenue in many ways, because they're going to grow economic growth, right? They want to get economic growth into the holy grail zone, which is 3 to 4% plus economic growth. That's kind of where they are. The next thing, of course, they're going through is the US balance sheet, and they're going to completely do a survey of that, both under the ground, above the ground, and offshore, right? They're going to be doing that. And of course, then they're going to be leveraging all that asset and liabilities, and they're particularly assets, reducing liabilities, getting an asset. And therefore, they'll have two options to deal with the US deficit, budget debt, I should say, of 37 trillion. And that is, they're going to have potentially any surpluses, and potentially number two, any asset offsets, right? So against that liability. So a lot of cool things are coming. and we're going to see some interesting things happen. Now, obviously, Trump's already succeeding big time. He's already got over 115 countries lined up for the third leg of the strategy, which is tariffs in the world order, restructuring that. We haven't really seen that since Bretton Woods. We haven't really seen that since the 1980s. This is a complete reordering of the world. We've had basically liberal and progressive economists drive us into the ground with this nonstop nonsense. I've had to listen to it for decades, this nonsense that comes out on TV from these guys. And I'm going, no. Remember they used to say, oh, China's going to take over the US and we're going to manage decline. I was like, what are these guys talking about? Manage decline and handing over political power over to the WF and the United Nations and the world. What are you guys talking about? This is insanity, right? And so it's been pretty daunting. But now here we are with the ultimate president giving us exactly what we dreamed of for decades and pushing back on a lot of this nonsense. And so it's exciting, man. Golden age is coming. And, of course, the third leg of the strategy, what is deregulation, right? Deregulation there is very, very important. And, of course, we're also going to have increased leverage with small to medium banks in the United States, bring back the Midwest, and, of course, really do bless things over the people that have been shunned by the Democratic Party from the two coasts, the East and the West, and, of course, the blue cities that have done that. And, of course, they didn't care what happened to the middle of America because it didn't matter for their votes, right? So this is going to be huge. So, yeah, dealing with the U.S. deficit, government deficit, dealing with the U.S. debt, dealing with the trade deficit. This is mega, guys, and these are the three strategies that he's going to do that, and it is going beautifully. And, of course, now we've even got China in the mix here. So it's pretty awesome. Got to get excited. It is very, very exciting. Now, the one thing I was going to talk about was the markets. We had the Dow Jones for Monday down 0.25%. We had the US S&P 500 down 0.6%, and the NASDAQ down 0.75%. We're sitting at 41,200 on the Dow Jones. That's the top 30 industrials. We've got the S&P 500 at 5,650, and we've got NASDAQ at 17,800. So they're down today, but last week, of course, was a beautiful green week and a record week there for the S&P 500. So not too bad there. And, of course, we're going to have this volatility as Trump's reorganizing the world. Of course, if you've ever read his book, then you'd also know The Art of the Deal, that making this confusion is a very key part of his tactics, right? It's playing out beautifully, Now, the other thing, of course, is commodities. One of the things that Trump's already won on is oil prices. They are down over $20 since he's become president. And that's a huge win. You know that in America, the driving season's coming up for summer. They're going to love that, right? Way cheaper gas prices at the pump. I just heard Trump talking about that yesterday on a gaggle on a plane and how cheaper the oil prices are, in terms of converting to get the pump prices. And so that's been absolutely amazing. You remember these prices were all going up under the Biden. And, of course, if we still had Biden in power now, the U.S. economy would be diving faster than you could imagine. It would be going down faster than you could imagine. You don't even know the amount of bad damage that was going to continue to flow out from their policies. It was just going to get horrifically bad. And, of course, the last 4 years really exposed the Democrat Party for what they are. And, of course, if you'd had another 4 years, another 8 years, it would just be moving into just absolutely a failed state. The U.S. would be very failing even more. And now Trump's got to clean all that up. It's a lot of stuff, a bit of tough love to clean it up, but he's doing it. Now, we've got gold at the moment is at $3,370, up 1.5%, and silver is up 2.2% at $33 as well. And we're going to be keeping an eye on the gold-silver ratio. That's going to be pretty important moving forward as well. And I am expecting silver to have some sort of breakout depending on the conditions that come up, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. So that is where we are with the commodities. That is our stock market coverage. Down for the Monday, but after last week was pretty awesome. And we're expecting some beautiful things coming out. Now, what are we expecting from Trump, right? Not only getting a deal with China, but we're expecting out of those 115 countries, we're expecting the top 15 to really come out. We're going to have good news after good news, right? Bam, 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 bam. We're going to have like India. We're going to have like Japan. We're going to have South Korea. It's going to be coming out, and it's going to be beautiful. And they're going to make the most of it, right? They're going to make the most of it there. Now, that leads us into crypto. Crypto is holding up pretty well right now. It is doing pretty well indeed. But before we get to that, let's get into a few more comments in the chat here. We've got Genuine Mo in the house there. Much love, brother. Hey, big shout out to Genuine Mo out there doing a great job. If you haven't checked out Genuine Mo, definitely check out Genuine Mo. He does a really good job out there. And I hope your little dogs are doing well there, Genuine Mo, real Mo. So kind of cool. Super needs a teleprompter, says Wookie. I do. That's true. We got Poofy Token in the house there. Evening Kryptonians. Was it Kryptonians? Yeah, big shout out Poofy Token. And we got Silverback in the house as well. I'm feeling good about silver too, says Silverback. absolutely. I think silver's going to have a good day in the sun as well, and a big high there, the silver-backed as well. Man, I'm so excited today. Are you excited? Do you feel excitement? I do. It's just incredible, all the stuff that's happening. And man, I'm just enjoying covering it. As you guys know, I've been streaming for years, right? And I stream because I love it. I stream because I love crypto. And of course, just like anything, like if you like playing Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to play Dungeons and Dragons all the time. If you like to play crypto, you play crypto at the time. And I get to stream about, which makes it even better. So yeah, it's just like that, just the same thing. And of course, if you guys saw another Superman, right? Well, I love Superman, of course. Hashtag Superman. But you just see some of the interests that they have, real nerdy interests. It's pretty awesome. Warhammer 40,000K and stuff like that. It's so good. Anyway, we'll move on from that. I don't want to get too distracted, but at the moment we're going to get into crypto. So let's talk about that. Let's go full screen on this one. We got Bitcoin at pretty much at 95K at the moment. Have you noticed it's still sort of just sitting behind 100K? Kind of, I think, has reached its sort of cap at the moment. It's kind of sitting in that natural position, but it's funny how it's just sitting below that 100K again. Remember last time we were sitting behind 100K, we went to 109. So this is pretty awesome. And like I say, we got potentially next week even, we could be potentially seeing maybe a deal with India, with US, a deal with Japan, something like that. That's going to probably come out. Those are probably the front runners. And those are some of the top nations in the world, right? So in terms of the economy, so we're going to look to see that. And so we're up 0.4% at the moment, and we're at 62.7% dominance here based on the Coin360 numbers. As you guys know, in the last bull market in 2021, we got up to 70%. I don't know whether we're going to get quite that high, although Bitcoin has been acting very, very strong before we get altcoin season. But we're in that zone somewhere, right? We're finding that zone because remember, we used to be under 60%, and we're kind of in that zone where we may get altcoin season coming up. Now, the other big thing, of course, as you guys know, on the 7th of May, we've got Ethereum, right? It's got the EIP upgrades. That potentially scales up the staking to over 2,000 Ethereum, from 32 to over 2,000 Ethereum. This suits institutional investors potentially very well. We may see a surge in Ethereum off the back of that. How sustained it will probably be depending on the dynamics of what's happening in Bitcoin and the wider markets. But I'm pretty excited about where those upgrades are going. There's going to be like 11 or 12 upgrades. Pretty crazy there. And and the other thing, of course, is going to be able to accept other tokens for gas fees potentially other than just Ethereum. This could be quite the game changer as well. So ETH at the moment, $1,820, up 0.4%. I think it's probably if you want to get under 2K, probably maybe your last opportunity there today, tomorrow. We'll see, but it's definitely getting going to be rare. I think it's going to go, once it goes back over 2K again, we could see it suddenly rallying to 3.5K, 4K very quickly. So let's see what happens there. We've got Sol at the moment is at 1.4%, $146. Tron at the moment is up at 30% at 25 cents. XRP down 1%, $2.14. BNB up 2% actually, up at almost $600. We've got ADA down 1.8% at 66 cents. And Litecoin there is down 2.9% at $83 there. Those are your majors at the moment. So let's jump over to the Coinbase prices here. We got total market cap at the moment. So let's go back to our previous view here. We got total market cap at 3 trillion. That is down 1.6% today. And let's have a look at the ranking. So Bitcoin number 1, Ethereum number 2, XRP number 4, BNB number 5, Solana number 6, Dogecoin there at number 8, Cardano or ADA there at number 9, and Tron at number 10. Those are the top 10 at the moment. And the best performer over the last 24 hours has been BNB up 1.9%. And over the last week, what do we got there? The best performer has been Ethereum up 1.4%. So maybe a little early sign there for the old Ethereum. Looking at the top 100 over the last week, we can see that Virtual Protocol has been doing pretty well, up 21%. Dexy up 14% in the top 100, and Hyperliquid there up 13% as well. Those are the marks there. Quant is up 12%, and Monero there, the good old Monero there that people used to mine, they're probably still mining that as well, is up 10% there. So those are your major winners there. Now I'm just going to quickly go in and quickly look through some of these, but we've got some of these are so Virtuals. This top one is an AI agent market. So that's kind of what that is. And of course, we've got Hyperliquid there. That is a advanced trading and referral platform, and that seems to be pretty popular there as well. Quant, on the other hand, is a multi-chain tech, and it has these technologies called Overledge, Ledger, and QuantFlow for dApps, and they particularly target banks and corporates. So there's some of the reasons they're probably doing pretty well at the moment. And of course, Monero's old school there, and of course Dexy. I think there's a Dex from memory, but that is that last one there. Let's go quick look in there. I think there's pretty much a Dex there. utility token ecosystem, redemption and burning of tokens. Dexy has a Dexy strategy there. It looks a little bit like DAOish as well, but you can check that out in your own time. So that is kind of like the best performers at the moment. Overall top gainers, it looks like Polymath, Particle Network, and Rebita. And of course, Particle Network's a pretty interesting number there. It is actually pretty highly ranked. So it's not in your top 100 or top 300. It is actually ranked 555, but it was at like 600 last night. So it's actually gained about 80 positions on the old CoinGecko. And this could be pretty interesting. You can see the chart rallying pretty nicely there. Might get a bit overheated right now. You definitely check the RSI on this, but definitely has had a nice recent pump here and is sitting at number 555. It's a layer 1 blockchain designed to enable a chain abstraction, creating a seamless and unified experience for users. So maybe that's something worth checking out there on the old Particle Network there. So that's kind of cool on that. Let's quickly look at the trending. We've got SuChain, Virtuals, and Casper currently trending at the moment. Looks like OM there dropped off the list. Not surprising though, right? Not surprising at all. So kind of cool. All right, so let's get down here and we're going to get into the next section. Guys know what's up next, right? We're going to get into PulseChain. We finally got the PulseChain. We started with PulseChain. We're back to PulseChain because we're going to go through the markets. And what an exciting day. What an exciting day. Hey, look, everybody, we've got about 160 people watching at the moment. Big shout out. And if you're new to the channel, definitely follow. Definitely hit the bell for future videos. Share the channel around. Really reposting really helps a lot on X, on Rumble, on YouTube. Get into the chat as well. Become, get active. This is what it's all about. Things are really starting to take off. So get involved. You guys all play a big role. The community plays a big role. And of course, we all love crypto. So let's get into it and spread the word here. We're finally going to get that run coming up. And like I said, everything's lining up. Everything. I mean, if you're watching the show, you know it. It's I go through it all. It's pretty exciting. So, definitely get into it. And if you want to get into our socials, that's our social link there. I'll post that near the top of the chat. And, of course, if maybe Wookie, if you're over on Rumble, if you could post that link as well, it'd be great. It'd be much appreciated. All right, so that's kind of where we are there on the old socials. Join up today on X, on Rumble, on YouTube, on Discord. And what's the other? I'm missing something. And we're on something else as well. Discord, Rumble, I don't know. We're on 5 platforms. I just forgot the last one. But get involved. That's all I can say. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into PulseChain markets. We're about an hour, 12 minutes on the hour. So normally I finish at that now 15, but we'll probably be going for an hour and a half. I think we'll probably be tipping off for at least another 18 minutes or something because we've got to get through the markets, right? Which is pretty exciting. So let's do that. And let's go to Go Pulse and, of course, check out the results. So this is a background for new people. PulseChain was a full system state fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May, 2023. It then launched on the 13th of May, 2023, a couple of days later, and it's now 725 days later. And, of course, it was forked by Richard Hart. I call him the rebel founder, of course, and, he has probably got the highest engagement amongst anybody in crypto, whether you're a founder, whether you're an influencer. When he was streaming, no one even got close, right? No one even got close. And, he's a bit of a legend like that. And, of course, we have now got PulseChain and PulseX. These are two of his protocols. And before that, in the previous bull market, in between, 2nd of December through to 2021, he had one of the 4 best coins, Hex, rally in to do 13 parabolic rises and do a 10,000x approximately in that market. And it was just game changer, right? So it was a lot of fun. And he's introduced a lot of cool mechanisms, off the back of EOS doing AA lobbies, doing sacrifice protocols, with the Howey test and all that sort of stuff. He introduced audits and really tried to clean up a lot of stuff around crypto, and it's been pretty exciting, right? So he's really broken a lot of ground. He helped make Uniswap popular with the Hex community. He's hit so many milestones, and of course, recently he just did the unthinkable and defeated the SEC. So it is exciting times. He's now out there promoting a whole ton of new things for PulseChain. Like the PulseChain official account. Obviously, he's been lowering inflation for Hex and Signum token. He's thinned out the liquidity. I think things are getting really ready to rumble. He's launched pump tires. It really feels like it's game on. We've got all these big whales in the system, like Rack and Michelle, like Firewell, building projects, investing in projects, leading on socials. We've got obviously big corporates coming onto PulseChain, like Banxa, Sunny Meal, bring on the ultimate holy grail of a flawless onboarding for not just crypto geeks like you and me, but also for no coiners. And it's game on. I think it really is. And then on the backdrop of that, we've got President Trump ushering in the golden age of America When's he going to have that in by? The 4th of July, right? That's the target, is for all those three strategies: the tariffs, the deregulation, the leverage, and the reorganizing World Trade Order. He's going to have all that in place by the 4th of July, and then it's ushering the golden age of America. How much money has he got invested already? $8 trillion already in 100 days committed to all the latest technology, AI, manufacturing. I mean, it's game on, guys. It's game on. And, of course, the only thing he's got to do left is really get the interest rates down. That's why he's putting pressure on the Federal Reserve. Let's get these rates down from 4.5% on the federal funds rates down, at least down to 3.5, something like that. That'd be very, very sweet. And of course, that's going to boom all the financial markets as well, because then with lower interest rates, you have to risk on, right? You have to invest capital. You have to go for riskier asset classes, stock markets, crypto markets as game on. And we may even see a lot of money printing, right? So that's the other thing as well. So kind of cool. That is the backdrop. So it's awesome, guys. Let's get into the gas prices here. We've got Pulse price at the moment is quadruple 0265 at 2.67. We're at 27% of the mean sacrifice price. So you've got a huge opportunity to still accumulate here. We've got PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0212 up 2.25%. And we've got the buy and burn sitting at 1.4 trillion, about 7.7% approximately of the total supply has been bought up and burned based on these Go Pulse numbers here. Incentive token, $1.14. Up 1.5%. We recently saw that rally all the way to $1.68 pretty easily. It's come back down again, but that's just the way market's working at the moment, up in that volatility range where we are. And then we've got about 55 million tokens. Like I said, inflation has been cut by 20x. We're sitting at about 0.03 ink per second. That's about 2,600 ink tokens. That's virtually nothing on 55 million. And of course, the liquidity pools are thinned out. So really feels like Richard Art's setting everything up for that eventual move back to the upside. Now, it will take a lot of net buying power and, of course, stability. Hopefully, we've got rid of a lot of weak hands, but there was always some out there. So I'm not saying that that's not invincible, but it's definitely set up for the other direction once we get some momentum moving. We've got Hexes at the moment is at 5300th of a penny, up 2.25% there. EHEX at the moment, 900th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is sitting at 7200th of a penny. And really, it's this game on for that. I really feel very excited about that. We also know that Dipcatch is out there doing a pretty awesome protocol called, I think, HexFlex. And, of course, that's going to be a second layer protocol on Ethereum. He's got a lot of people interested over on Ethereum there that may or may not have come over to PulseChain. And that thing, I think, is going to be pretty exciting to see that. I think he's closing in on $200,000 capital raised. And I'm excited about that. Hey, look, it's a reality on PulseChain. If you want to get some particularly good protocols, you do need capital raises for that. You have to fund AMM pools. You have to fund different staking DAO methods. There's lots of reasons you have to develop money for capital, labor, and costs. So there is a lot of reasons to raise capital. So I wouldn't be too worried about capital raising. It's a fundamental part of any business essentially. And he's pulling out some pretty special stuff over on the layer 2, and it's going to use EHEX as a gas fee. So you can't be unhappy about that. And it's going to be wrapped, right? The wrap version there. So it's kind of locked in as well. So it's going to be kind of cool. So that is where we are at the moment. And we've got gas prices at the moment. We got 1 million beats, so super low gas prices at the moment, relatively speaking, around 1 cent for a PulseX swap. In terms of the validators, we did see 3,000 get turned off the other day. We're still sitting at 45,273. And, of course, the bridge at the moment is sitting at 81.6 million. We're up about 300,000 from yesterday. That's kind of where we are on the mark there. Keep a lookout for these numbers, right? Because we're probably going to see a lot of change. Particularly Sun and Minimil could start helping that too, even though they're dealing with the Sol tokens. The other tokens will come onto the chain as well. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Keep a lookout for Coast as well, currently at 9.6 million, and we're looking for that to grow as well. So we could see some pretty epic stuff happening here. It'd be nice to see GoPulse and other data provision sites add in the Sun Minimil when it's maybe from 2 days from now or something. That'd be pretty cool. The other big thing, of course, we've talked about stable coins. We've got the 4 liquidity forks, right? And I still don't see Ink Printer on here, which maybe Fast Abdul, you should hit up the GoPulse guys getting on there. I'm not sure why Ink Printer's not on there. We've got USDL, PXDC, XDC, and then we've got Coast, of course, the fiat back one, right? So 4 liquidity forks and the back one there. And of course, you guys know I'm hyper excited about PUSD ALGO coming up. The ultimate algorithmic stablecoin. It will be pegged at $1. And the argument here is that it could be more finely pegged to the dollar than any liquidity fork in any Coast. And the other thing, of course, it could have scalability and circulation that we need. A lot of the liquidity forks, the tokens don't circulate. They get staked in, they earn a yield, which is fine. But what we really need is a dollar that really circulates, right? So that's very important. Like USDC, USD Tether, DAI, for example, that actually moves around in the system, and PUSD could very well be that. The other thing, of course, it could very well be finely tuned to $1, like we saw about a year ago or so when it was tested there. Now it's using an algorithmic mechanism called stability miners, and that is kind of the heart and soul of it. So if you understand that, that's really pretty cool. And of course, people will provide liquidity in addition to the contributions they're making at the moment. It is kind of got a pre-mint at the moment, so you have to get in. You can get a 90% referral bonus with the link in the video description. If you do about $840 plus the referral bonus, they will get to $1,000, and that will open up the second bonus, and you get up to a 2x. So it's a random number from 1.01 to 2x, even more coins, which is a big deal there. And some people have taken advantage of that. So there's the opportunity there. But you are basically pre-mining, pre-minting those tokens. Very important there. And the liquidity, up to 75% of that liquidity is going to go into the LP pools straight away, right? Day one. So it's not, the money's not going off for a holiday in Hawaii. It's going straight into the protocol there from Jacob, arguably the world's best peer-to-peer developer who happens to be building on PulseChain. We're kind of lucky there too, right? So that's coming up there. We are waiting for the Signum Oracle and the Tetra to get launched by Stu and his team, but that's getting pretty close. Big shout out to Neil T. is out there as well. But that is something we're excited about coming. That could be a mega deal there. And if it's ultimately the Holy Grail, which it does look like with the testnet, this could be just like liquidity is being duplicated over to multiple chains. You could possibly see PUSD going multiple chains as well. Although I doubt that Jacob's going to give out his IP on that, and he'd probably want to do it himself. So keep a lookout for that. I think that's pretty exciting coming up there on PulseChain, man. It's going to be the ultimate algorithmic stablecoin launching on PulseChain. Come on, that's too good. So pretty exciting there. And so we've got lots of good things coming ahead. Now, this is how we've got the market cap at the moment. We've got $10 million. So this is the lowest we've seen in probably 5 days. So we've been sitting in this $12 million range. We've actually come down to 10.2. We have just come off a lazy Sunday. And of course, Monday here in the US, we're sitting at 10 million. We've got 262,000 transactions. So we're down about 40,000 from yesterday on the old transactions numbers. We do have some new coins coming in the mix here. We've got Hasbu. That is up 16,200%. It's been around for 10 hours. I'm not sure whether Zafir here and these are related to Mona Lisa. I haven't really checked that. I haven't had time to. But they possibly, the Zafir one definitely looks like it's possibly related. It's been around for 8 days. I think that might be one of the, I think it was one of the Mona Lisa ones there from memory. And we've got Secrecy at the moment up 90%. So these are the top three. Then we've got PMX 500. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. That's up 33%. We're going to have a little look into that because someone popped in here yesterday to talk about that. And it's been around for 1 month, 6 days. And I think it pays out, doesn't it? It pays out something. I think it's maybe, is it just a meme? I can't remember now, but you can check out all the details on that. That chart is definitely looking pretty good, right? It's been around for a month or so, but, relatively low volume. So it's a small retail play. I mean, still 100K liquidity, so it's okay. Anything over 100K is, okay. It's kind of retail medium, but that's definitely been pumped there. But once again, you do due diligence, all that good stuff. So that's kind of where, let's have a quick look at this Hasbu one since it is pumping. Only been out for 10 hours. Let's see if it's got any cool things to it as well. Let's see, Burned LP Forever, original tribute to Hasbullah there. So that's that little kid, isn't it? Little kid from Kuwait or somewhere. I don't know where he lives. He's got that little kid. And so that's out there too. What else? We've got Pepe at the moment. That's up 21%. Mona Lisa here. So I'm pretty sure Zafir is related to Mona Lisa. And that is up 15% there. And I think this is some developer that's associated, or at least around a Teddy takeover. And of course, Moon King out there, the biggest, ex-influencer out there with 110,000 followers there. And then, of course, then we've got Sun and Mini Mill coming at number 7. And I said we were going to look at this. This is doing pretty well. Look at that chart. That's Soul token. So if you're after to get some of the Sun Mini Mill love, this is the token that you want to check out. Now, this has only been around since the 28th of April because you guys know they forked their old token. And so this is the new token. And the old token, I think it ended the price, about 2.8 cents. And now it's rallied all the way to 6.2, 6.3 cents here, which is pretty awesome. So, the price was down at 2.8. So I think it was somewhere like there. We'll take it from the bottom here. From the bottom. And, of course, it rallied all the way up 125% in 8 days. So pretty awesome performance. As this is the beginning of where this is going. Remember, 20% of the revenue is coming on to buy and burn the old SAW token. And, hey, look, it might be up to 48 hours away, but we could see some pretty exciting things happen to this in the weeks and months ahead. Now, you guys know that charts still play out technically. So we still get profiting and, profit taking going. But, man, maybe this keeps going up to some degree. And before we get that, that tapering. Now, the market cap, 308 million market cap. And of course, with the big buy and boom from the corporate sales, as the corporate sales do really well, this will keep going up and up and up, right? It's got that constant buy pressure from the real world. So that could be pretty exciting too. So I'm going to post the link to this in the chat there if you guys want to check out Soil, as you do. And yeah, we're almost up to an hour and a half here. We've got 6 minutes left. I'm keeping track. Keeping track here. So yeah, there's Soil at the moment. Put an RSI in there, see how hot that is. But that is where we are at the moment on Soil token. Not bad as well. Let's see. We've got a couple more comments in the chat here. We got Crispy. 5,555 bananas. I like that comment there, Crispy. I don't know why, but it's funny. Here for the alpha says Heart Wi-Fi Dog. A big shout out there, Hart. I hope you're doing well there, and a big shout out there. Looks like you're big into the hog dog token. Is it hog dog? Hog there. Bank card direct on the PulseChain. Which grandmas we are coming for everybody. Yeah, mothers and grandmothers are definitely being targeted by the PulseChain, but it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be good for them and good for us, I think. Blair's in the house there. Hi all, good to see you, Blair. Big shout out. Hey, we've got about 180 people watching at the moment. I do appreciate your support. Make sure that you hit the follow button right now. Just take a moment to do that. And of course, share the channel around. Really does help a lot. And of course, come back every day because we're doing daily content on all the alpha that's happening, not just in crypto and PulseChain, of course, but also in economics and politics and society. We always put a little bit of there, only the good stuff, and the stuff that adds value to our crypto. But man, it is an exciting place to be. All right, that's the chart there. So Soil there looking pretty good and sitting at number 7 right now. Not bad there. And of course, let's have a look here. We've got ETC at the moment up 10%. Mooney, Mona Lisa, Frank token. These are all related to each other. There's kind of this some developer that's done some limit liquidity, kind of like mimicking a Troper in some ways, but tied into this Teddy takeover. And of course, Teddy takeover here sitting at number 12, up at 9.4%. So let's have a quick look at that. And this is obviously backed by Moon King. Had a nice little rally, as you can see here on the 4-hourly chart. The 4-hourly is kind of the trader's view. So if you wonder why a lot of people show 4 hours, it's kind of the trader's view here. And here we are. We got up to 78/800th of a penny. I don't think that's too long away until this breaks higher, as you can see in the chart. Let's go to the daily on Teddy Takeover. And look at this. So this is not too far. Look at this chart. It really does look like it's creeping up, and it's about to make its play for a 1 cent, right? Now, the RSI on the daily is sitting around about 62. It's going to be humming along there, a slight little uptrend in the RSI. But I really feel like this is really just getting ready for that big move. Yeah, let's keep a lookout. Like I say, it's got Moon King and quite a few other of his supportive influences and large, probably large crypto holders involved in this protocol. So that's kind of where we are on that one. And it is a pump ties as well. So remember that. All right, so let's have a quick look at what we got going. We got the old die here. This is a pump tire die. So we've got a good die there out for Maddie Allen. We've got fork die out there, of course, related to the P die maker that was shut down. And then we've also got this pump tires die as well. And that's up 9% at the moment as well. Let's quickly look at this one. And actually, it's doing not too badly, 00091. And let's see if it can have a breakout here at some stage as well. So that's kind of where we are on this one. A lot of competition in the DAI space now, but they've got one of the biggest engaged communities in PulseChain, right? So it's probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 big communities that are really high active engagement. These are definitely the PDI community or fork community is definitely one of the big ones here with high engagement, that you got a lot of turnover going in the chats and things like that. All right, so we got PTC the Grays. As you guys know, I'm a big backer of this. This is definitely one of the, I would call, more investable blue chip type of ones there. Obviously, do your own due diligence. Nothing I say is financial advice, but this is up 8% at the moment, doing pretty well. A big shout out to Prairie Banana. He is an influencer and analyst that covers. If you want to get all the alpha, definitely check out Prairie Banana. He does an incredible job. There, of course, I went through the dexes yesterday. Check out yesterday's video. It was full of alpha around and the top block explorers. So that was yesterday's show. We packed full of that, full of goodness. It's got all the lists there. You can check them out on X as well. And of course, today I covered just an elephant in the room, a mega deal here with Sun Minimal and Banxa. Man, it's we got Doubt Token going on here. Thaler is part of the Mona Lisa ecosystem. It's up 6% as well. We've got Loan Token there from Liquid Loans. Now, we had PulseChain and PulseX, the big sacrifice, about $1.1 billion worth. And then we had Liquid Loans, which was like $52 million sacrifice. And they've come out with with the multi-sig. Can I remove it today because I forgot it yesterday? PulseChain something. I forgot it again. I used to have this in my mind, but I've forgotten it again. But we had some multi-sig, and it's going to crush me when I check to see what it is. I was supposed to do it yesterday, I forgot. I keep on saying PulseChain chain, but it's PulseChain something. We've got obviously the USDL, and we've got the Fetch Oracle, which came out only about a month ago. So that's ticking away as well. We're probably going to do some coverages of that coming up. Now we got X Game, of course, Algo on the back of Hex, that is up 5%, and we got X Game, which I told you guys, this is from Firewell. I think it's going to be really big. He's got 3 pump tires, right? And he's got Firewell, he's got Solid X, and he's got X Game, and then he's got the OG one, right? The OG Solid X, and that's the one that's going to get burned from the profits from the X Game casino, right? So that's how it's going to work there. And he controls a big part of the supply, well over 80% of the supply of X Game and Solid X pump tire, but he only had, when he launched it, he only had about 55% of the Firewell one. So that's the one that's mostly owned by the community, or at least the one that potentially can be owned, not as a majority, but the most of it can be owned because there's that big difference. We got Solid X at the moment, currently at $7.70, so it's pulled back from $11 down to $7.70. Pretty good entry level, I would say, from Solid X. We got pump tires. This is kind of the official pump tires at the moment. It's up 4.8%. So these are all in that sort of zone there. X there is up 4.6% as well. We've got some Solid X down here. It's been around for 22 days. It's up 4%. That's a pretty popular one also. And of course, we've got Pulse X in there. UFO from PDC. So UFO, PDC, the father and son kind of combo. That's the way I talk about it, 4%. Not bad there as well. So you can see it's not too bad. We've got the old Teddy OG there from James Maria and the Troper. That is up 4% there as well. What else there? We took the loan token there from Liquid Loans. What else? Hex is down here as well, up 3%. And it'd be a nice move to see, some of the Richard Hart coins really making a move there. We've got some of the printer tokens. We've got Gas Station here at 1.4%. They've definitely been down the last couple of days. It'll be interesting to see if we get a turn up in the Richard Hart coins, whether we see those printer tokens turn back up as well. That's probably going to be where we're heading there. Hey, look, we're up to, about 185 people. A big thank you very much, everybody. I really do appreciate the community. As I always remember Rich Art's comment that, he got asked at the conference, what's the biggest thing that's impressed you about, PulseChain and Hex and things like that? And he says, well, it's the community. And it always is true, right? So hopefully we're here to serve and doing a good job there, covering some of the favorite things that you guys love, and also keeping you up to date with the trends if you're busy. Because a lot of people out there are busy, right? Don't get to keep up with it. So hopefully we're helping with that too. All right, so we're going to wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show for sure. Actually, we're not quite. I'm going to have to go longer. We're at 1 hour and 32. I'm going to have to go for a few more minutes because I want to talk about Titan X because it really does look like that's starting to turn. And we have defended the line here on the old Titan X. It's back to Ethereum now, so we've switched chains. But we're keeping a look out there because there's a lot of value locked up in the old Titan X buy and burns, right? And we're also looking forward to the omni-chain strategy playing out, which has already started rolling out, but we're waiting for Jake Sharp there to start getting that. So we had quite the rally, as you can see. Let me log this chart. We had quite the rally off the bottom, and this is the US dollar price. Then we had a little bit of profit taking. We're actually holding up pretty well at 6 zeros 1900. But what's more important is the ratio of Titan X to wrapped ETH. Let's quickly look at that, and we can see this is on the daily. Let's go to the daily here, and let's log that chart too. And we can see we were down at 10 zeros 7100 on the ratio to ETH. So 10 zeros 7100, and we rallied all the way up to 9 zeros. We lost 1142, and now we're back down at 9 zeros 1058. So we've still lost a zero, and I really like the look at this. As we hold this area here just above the 9 zeros at 1000, that's a very good sign. And we also beat out these three lower lows actually, 1, 2, 3, and that's a very positive. And really start printing some higher highs, right? So yeah, let's see how long we consolidate here. That's definitely looking pretty exciting, and we can see the big increase in volume there too. And now all the buy and burns are turned off, right? So this is about 60%, 65% collaterally back with the buy and burn, and so that's pretty exciting. And of course, a Dragon X buy and burns turned off. That's already had a rally. We're already up at 15x on the Titan X, right? It was down about 6x, 6 Titan X per 1 Dragon X. That's on the move. Hyper and Hydra are also And then, of course, we've got some other big performers. We've got Helios, Volt, and Inferno from the Dude, from Crazy Stevie D, and, of course, Crypto Utah and the team. That is out there as well. They've got high buy and burns, over 55% or something. So pretty cool. I think it's 45 for Volt, 46 for Volt. And then, of course, we're seeing some cool stuff coming out from Morpheus, from Brandon, one of the PulseChain Techniques influencers, up 12%. And we've also got big stuff coming from Matrix potentially. Tink Farms, of course, is almost back at 3 cents. That is the founder, Eric, of course, from DragonX. We're looking forward to some fun things there. Because, as Tink token goes up, the yield goes up, more capital flows in, right? So the whole thing gets inflated. It's one of the key pumpamentals inside Techniques as well. And the other big thing, of course, is we've got Element 280 doing pretty well. And we've seen a lot of protocols start to go over to base chain. And I think most of these have, right? Uranus was the first one. I think most of these are all gone over to the base chain there. And, of course, they've had up and down days. But we're looking excited about that. And, of course, they've got one kind of liquidy fork from Super Shadowy, super smart guy here around USDX. And that's performing very well over there. The guy's really smart guy. And doing USDX Ouroboros, right? Pretty cool. The big ones we've got launching coming up is Genie. We're looking forward to that getting to market. It's going to be pretty close there from Stevie D. And that looks like it could be mad awesome. So we're looking forward to that. And, of course, Taurus there from Cryptographics, another PulseChain Titanx influencer out there as well. So there's probably a good half a dozen crossover influencers doing PulseChain and Titanx. And, of course, I'm one of those. So there we go. There's Taurus there. And we're excited about where that's heading. Both of those two, Bitcoin Genie and Taurus, really focusing on the demand side. We've had a lot of buy and burns, which is pretty cool, but how do you get sustained buying? And these two here have got new tokenomics, and we'll see whether they get it right, because they both look pretty promising, and we're excited about where that might head there. So that is the old quick Titanx update there. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Man, we're up to 190 people at the moment. I really do appreciate the support. Don't forget, of course, to get into the chat there. We've got Hexavator says, great show. Thanks very much, Hexavator. Big shout out to you. And like I say, get out there, repost the show. People can rewatch all the alpha in the show. And, of course, don't forget to join all the socials. That is the socials there. We've got, obviously, multiple platforms you can get into on socials there. Definitely join up today, as many as you feel reasonable. And, of course, we've also got a big shout-out to Rack and Michelle, the big whale in the house there. Big shout-out for the super sticker there. Absolutely amazing. And, of course, man, we just really appreciate everything that you've done. And, of course, we've been talking about you for some time. Many years actually, but we've been talking about you in the last couple of weeks in particular, about all the things you're doing on the chain, both in socials, both in investing, both in new projects. You really are making a big difference out there, so big shout out for that. And bring on the Saudis, Racken. Bring on the Saudis. That's all we can say. All right, so that's kind of cool. What else we're going to get into? We've got another comment I want to make here as well. Let me scroll down here. That is the Soil token on Dex Screener, so you can check that out. And I think, did I post the post for that? I think I did. I think that was it, pretty, really. Yeah, I think that's it. We're up to now in 40 minutes, or hour and 38. So I think that's a good place to finish. I'm just loving it. You guys loving it? I'm addicted. Are you addicted? Yeah. In the right way, right? In the right way. So that's pretty cool. All right, we're going to catch you tomorrow. We could potentially have some very big A-listers coming up on live stream in the next couple of days. We've got to finalize some bookings. But, hey, look, it's going to be a fun week. Man, things are really turning around. And, man, if we get some big trade deals as well, India, Japan, something, man, it's game on in the markets. Get excited, folks. We really are about to leave the station, as we say, leave the station. All right, so I think that deserves, this show deserves a big magical twinkle. That's it. Many more twinkle there. And Banxa, thank you very much to you guys. We do acknowledge what you have achieved, and what you're putting on PulseChain is a huge deal, and the crowd goes wild. And finally, we're going to give out the old horn there for Rack and Michelle in the chat there with that awesome contribution to the channel. Appreciate that. And, of course, for everything you're doing as well. Let's give them the old high school horn. The old high school horn there or something. I don't know if they play that at high school in America, but, hey, we're playing it now. All right, take care, everybody, and we'll catch you on the next show. Peace out, and I'll catch you. Enjoy your day, and enjoy the week. It's sunny outside here in New Zealand. We're loving it, and, enjoy yourself in crypto. And, don't take things too seriously, but, make some wise choices, and get ready to rumble for this bull market ahead. All right, peace out. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.